Let's get to Herbalife. You got a major story here on Herbalife.
Yeah, they're teaming up with NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange to curtail the power of short sellers. What they want to do is they're pushing through legislation that will make short sellers disclose their positions. So this is pretty interesting after the big Ackman brouhaha with Herbalife, as you know, 2012 was it?
Yep, and December he tried to short it. He did short it.
$1 billion short. It caused an FTC investigation. Herbalife settled the investigation. The stock is at an all-time high, from what I understand. It's like $82 a share. The stock has gone up a little bit on this report, I should point out as well. So let's put it this way: Herbalife is no fan of Bill Ackman, and I think Bill has still has a short position, but it's somehow hedged so it caps his losses. But here's the bottom line: Herbalife is now going to Capitol Hill to try to do something about short sellers, to force them to essentially disclose their positions. There is no disclosure requirement for short sellers. Okay, none. If you're long a stock, if you acquire more than 5% of a stock, you do have to disclose, I think, at the end of the quarter, each year, or each quarter, you know, your 5% position. So if Carl Icahn buys 5% in Apple, right, he basically has to disclose that. If you go short a certain amount, you really don't have to disclose it. There's none of that.
So Buffett going long has to report that. Yeah. Any hedge fund manager. Yes. But if you're trying to kill a company,
yes,
by shorting it,
yes, now
you don't have to report that.
In Ackman's defense, and by the way, on Capitol Hill, the people who are dealing with Herbalife are calling this the Ackman bill because Herbalife has been pushing this so much behind the scenes, along with the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ. Okay, that's kind of interesting.
And they survived an FTC investigation that was sparked by him.
In Ackman's defense, you know, he went public with his short position.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so but it was interesting. He went public after he placed it. Now, how this would impact a guy like Ackman who goes public, I don't know. But it's clearly what you're looking at as part of a company, what you're looking at exchanges, which essentially list companies that are shorted, is some way to curtail the power of the short seller to drive down stocks. Okay, now a lot of short sellers are going to be like, that's curtailing our power to
or free markets. You're curtailing the free markets.
Right, okay, but what they're saying is we at least want to know. We think the investing public should have some idea on what these guys are doing. We should point out that Ackman has no comment on this. Herbalife declined comment. The New York Stock Exchange had no comment. NASDAQ didn't give us much of a comment beyond confirming that it's part of the bill. The bill's before the House Finance Committee, the Senate Banking Committee, and what staffers are telling me that there's a good shot that this thing is going to get through because at least giving short sellers, putting them on par with longs, provides some transparency. So that's where we are right now. It's interesting. We are now, 6 years after Ackman went after Herbalife? They're still fighting. Now they're fighting in Washington.